Good evening and welcome to Rock River Community Radio and the home of your EP Panthers. Tonight, week 4, right here from Erie Wayne Hine Memorial Field, where your EP Panthers are set to host the Rockridge Rockets. I'm Scott Miner alongside my co-host as normal, Scott Hammer, in a brand new booth. And Scott, kind of a back-to-back weeks where we've got some tough opponents. Last week, Newman. And tonight, the number 3 ranked team in the state, the Rockridge Rockets.
Yeah, last week was a tough game. It was our first real tough challenge. And something we'd always talked about was how we got to come out strong early. And we had 2 turnovers immediately, gave them great field position. They scored twice on their first 2 drives and had a total of about 15, 20 yards. So we really just can't be behind the 8 ball like that. So we need to play more solid right off the bat. And Rockridge comes in with a 3-0 record, winning 45-0, 36-29, and 49-21. So they're rolling really good, and like you say, they're state ranked. So this will be a tough matchup.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup for the Panthers tonight. Certainly looking for a faster start and a better start than we had last weekend. The Rockridge Rockets are going to be led by their quarterback and returning Conference Player of the Year last year, Cullen Schweigen. He's just a junior, so he's got another year to go, and he is doing it with his legs. He's doing it with his arm. And talking with Coach Whitebread this week, we got to make him one-dimensional. And what I'm hearing from the coaching staff is right now we're going to try to take his legs out from underneath of him, make him throw the football. We put some schemes in place with our defensive backfield to try to slow him down and contain him through the air. And who knows, with this little bit of rain that just went through, maybe that's going to be the ticket for a successful night tonight. Yeah,
it's a little tougher to pass the ball if the weather's a little inclement, which it is. So looks like I didn't see what the coin toss was, if Rockridge won or not, but irregardless of that, I'll get it in right away. EP is going to kick off.
I don't think you got that in at all last week, and so I'm sure you probably heard that from Mary when you got home. So Panthers are going to set the kickoff left to right. If you're listening to us on the app, if you're listening to us on the YouTube channel, if you want to shoot us a message and just let us know that you're able to see everything, great. And we are off, and the kick is up and good, and it's fielded cleanly at the 25, and right back up the middle are the Rockridge Rockets, and up past the 40-yard line. And your Rockets, the Rockets, not your Rockets, the Rockets are going to take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, pretty good kick there by, I assume that was Evan. Didn't really look like that till it was lined up there, but he got it about to the 20. You know, he hasn't quite driven the ball as much as he did. That first week he had 3 balls that went into the end zone. So maybe they've got a little more strategy on their kickoffs.
If you're just getting into the Panther football season, the Panthers coming in with a record of 2-1. Opening night win over the Kewanee Boilermakers, a convincing win. And then week 2 traveled to Hall, got a victory there. And then last week fell short to the Newman Comets. First ball is going to look to pass and got quite an arm out to the first down marker, and then some. Is going to punch it outside and finally going to get it run out of bounds with a big gain inside Panther territory.
Yeah, he hit Owen Steele. Yeah, they don't have their heights and weights again, but he has a good-sized receiver out there for the Rockets. Strong pass by Schweigen. Boy, he ran all over us last year, I remember.
And the clock will stop just long enough for the chain gang. And we'll get you their names here in just a little bit to get reset. Shotgun formation for the Rockets. Going to throw the football again. A little quick outer, about 5-yard completion, and stacked up nicely by the Panthers. And finally brought down, looks like about a gain of 6 on that.
Yeah, they had trips over here on the left side, but he decided to throw to the short side of the field. 5-yard gain. Got that nice digital down marker over there. That's really pops out there to be able to see what down it is.
Braden Frank in on that tackle. 2nd and 5, ball spotted right at the 30, well, actually about the 29-yard line. So we'll pick up a 6 on that. Play coming in from the sideline. Looks like, at least early, Rockridge is going to be exclusively in shotgun. And they're going to hand the ball off, and he's going to try to pop this thing out to the left side. And he finds a little bit of running room. He's going to be up near the first down marker. I think he's going to have enough.
Yeah, it looked like Derek Nosker got in there late on that stop. He kind of popped it out to the left side. A little sugar offense here for Rockridge, going no huddle and just getting line of scrimmage. They're just kind of playing with a little bit of tempo, I guess. very little. They're not hustling a whole lot.
Interior line, right side of our interior line did a pretty decent job of stacking that up. The Rockridge running back able to pop that outside and picked up 5 on that play.
Yeah, I think that was Tristan Hovey that got in there first to make him change direction. 1st and 10 minutes to go in the first quarter.
A couple of receivers split each way for the Rockets. Going to throw the football. And quarterback under pressure, able to escape it. Caleb Reamer looking to throw it on the, looks like, had a good chance at an interception there at the end zone and falls incomplete. Keegan Winkler just out of his outstretched arms.
Yeah, Caleb Reamer, a name that we had mentioned a lot the first 2 weeks and really got bottled up by the big offensive line of Newman. Got really good pressure on there, made Schweigen roll out to his right, and really great coverage. He really had nowhere to go on that throw.
We had a couple of Panthers there in the vicinity for a possible interception just out of the hands of Keegan. That would have been a nice turn of events early for the Panther defense. 10-16 to go here in the first quarter. Good to have Josh Hammer back on the computer doing the technology stuff tonight, so I don't have to do that. That was a bit of a chore last week. All right, 2nd and 10. They're going to hand the ball off right up the middle and able to escape a couple tackles. He busts it outside, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds, gets down to about the 2-yard line. Sneaky little run there. Thought we had him for little to no gain.
Yeah, it looked like Tristan Hovey was kind of sneaking up to the line like he was blitzing a little bit from the right linebacker position, and he was able to bounce it outside. Good pursuit there by Evan Steinley to push him out to keep him from getting in the goal line, but he got down to the 3.
That'll be 1st and goal for the Rockets. Ball placed on the left hash mark. 10:06 to go here in the first quarter. Play calls are coming in for Rockridge from the sideline. No huddle. They're going to roll out right, look to throw right. Good pursuit, and just able to, actually a good pursuit by a bunch of Panthers there and force the quarterback out of bounds.
Yeah, Tristan Hovey got in there really nice. Derek Nosker was chasing him down, as was Connor Keegan over there. Looks like mark that as a little bit of a loss. Is that what you see? Back about 2 yards to the 5?
Yeah, actually they're going to back him up to about the 6 or 7. So that'll go down for a sack. 6 or 7. I missed it.
It's a stupid, high school meme thing or internet meme thing.
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah, I have no idea what that means.
I don't
All right, shotgun again. And quarterback's going to keep this himself. He's got a lead blocker. He's going to go out to this left side, and he's going to get into the end zone untouched. And the Rockets strike first today with 9:50 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, they had those receivers on the left side. They've been throwing back to the short side out of that formation, but he used them as lead blockers on that and escorted him right into the end zone. So had that opportunity on that when he got flushed out on that play a couple plays ago, and we had a diving attempt at an interception that wasn't there, but Rockridge able to capitalize on that and go down and score.
Rockridge does have an extra point kicker, and he's out on the field. And the snap's down, it's good, and the kick is up, and the strong leg up and through, and the Rockets take a 7-0 lead.
Well, not too surprising. They have scored a lot of points this year. 45 week 1, 36 week 2, 49 week 3. So they do have a high-powered offense. So that's to be expected. What we need to do is score ourselves. Last week's game, we were down 2 scores right off the bat. And then we came back and really made it a very competitive first half. The score was really, not indicative of how, I guess the score ended up being how it felt, but it just could have been so much different if we would have got off to a little better start. Giving them the ball inside the 10, it was just too much for us to handle. It felt like a game that could have been 21-14 at halftime instead of the 2 scores that we were down, and then we just didn't anything going in the second half of that game.
Yeah, if you got a chance to watch Panther Points, Dan Eyrich had interviewed Coach Whitebread, and he'd made mention that it just expended so much energy from the Panthers in that second quarter to try to scrap their way back into that ball game. And they did put a couple of scores on the board in that second quarter, but just ran out of steam in the second half, and the Comets ran away with it. All right, Rockets set the kick off. And a good kick, and it's going to go to Gavin Adams at the 10-yard line. Fielded cleanly. Adams going to bring it right at the sideline, and he is through everybody. He's just got the kicker to beat, and the kicker's going to take him down, but he's going to be inside Rocket territory to the 40-yard line. And once again, a great play by Gavin Adams, who's been the workhorse this year for the Panthers.
He really has. He's been back-to-back Scotch Player of the Week. But, the interesting formation on that kickoff return. Normally we've had 3 guys back there, Connor Keegan being one of them. and we went with 2 deep with Gavin Adams and Noah Wetzel was the other one. Kick right to Adams, and like you say, he almost broke that up the sideline. Great field position for the Panthers. I think it took us 2 quarters to get to midfield against Newman last week.
All right, Panthers will get their first look at the offense. Tight formation with a couple of guys in the slot on each side. Receiver split wide each way. Gavin in motion is going to come over 2 men in the slot. Keegan's going to keep this himself and go right up the middle, and he's going to duck forward for a gain of 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's something we've seen a lot that Keegan does a great job is he doesn't take a hit with the shoulders up ever. He's always going down, so he's always going to get that extra yard, sometimes 2, the way he can really knife in there. He doesn't get hit and stopped and then driven back. So good effort for Keegan there. Get us 2 yards.
Getting a message that we can't hear anything, real faint at the far end. If anybody else can let us know about that, would be great. We got Connor Keegan in motion, and Keegan's going to keep this himself again, and he's got a little bit of an opening. He's going to be up near the first down marker, brought down just a couple yards short.
Yeah, had Connor Keegan out there kind of faking like he was going to get the pitch. Nice run by Keegan. Who's telling you? Because I just heard on the YouTube that we sound great. So, oh, it's on the app.
It's good or bad?
All right, third down and 3, ball at the 34-yard line. And they're going to pitch the ball out to Tristan, and he's going to be up past the first down marker. Got a couple of lead blockers and a nice gain there, and push forward for a first.
Jordan Crow, the left guard, got out there leading that block. Really nice snap and looked very crisp on that. You know, that was something that we really struggled with last week. That first quarter we had, you know, with the bad field position to start with, but we had really poor quarterback center exchanges, and we're looking good with that so far. I don't know why I brought it up, but
pretty early for you to do that, Scott, but we'll see how it goes. All right, first down for the Panthers tonight. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. There's a snap. It's a good one. Going to pass it out to the left flat. That looks like Gavin Adams. He breaks a tackle and moves forward for a gain of maybe 4 on that play.
Yeah, he had Evan out there lead blocking him, but he decided to cut it back inside. Still got some positive yardage out of it. Going to bring up 2nd 8. Clock is running at 7:40 to go in this first quarter. 7-0 Rockridge.
Panthers look comfortable in their offensive set so far. That's a positive. Tristan in the backfield. Connor in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. They're going to try to come around this right end. He's got a little bit of running room, and he makes the corner, cuts back, and he's got an opening, and he's going to be down to about the 10-yard line. And a nice play by the Panthers, and that'll move the sticks.
Yeah, we kind of had struggled with that play last couple weeks. That was a nice job by Connor to get out there. Tristan Hovey and Gavin Adams did a great job holding those blocks because they had to hold those for a long time. And as the defenders turn their backs to them or kind of get away, that's when you get a lot of holding calls or blocks in the back. But they kept their feet moving and got a nice gain out of it.
Ball spotted at the 11-yard line, so still able to get a first down without punching it into the end zone. 6:57 to go here. Tristan in the backfield. Keegan going to keep it himself, go right up the middle, and nice short gain there for the Panthers on first down.
Yeah, large hole there. He faked like he was going to pitch it out to Tristan, and like the Red Sea partying there for Keegan. Wish he could have got just a couple more out of that.
Pickup of 2 on that play. Bring up 2nd and 8. Clock continuing to run with 6.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Ball placed on the right hash. Connor Johnson in the ball game, going to split out wide left. A couple of receivers here to the near side. And Keegan going to keep this himself, and he's stacked up pretty quick. A short gain here.
Yeah, they're trying to run that option that they have with Tristan. Keegan, the pitch man, Tristan, was covered up pretty well, so Keegan decided to put his foot down and get as much yardage as he could.
Certainly 4-down territory here for the Panthers. 3rd and 7 upcoming.
I'll try and talk louder.
Eat that, Mike. Once again, Connor split wide left. Tristan in the backfield. Gavin Adams split here to the right. Gavin Steinley in motion left to right. And Tristan's going to get the ball on the left handoff, and he's going to be continue on his feet down near the end zone. Might have enough for a first down.
Yeah, looking at the far judge, that should be enough for a first down. That was a really nice play. It was like a counter out of the shotgun, which is really hard to run. And the meshing of the quarterback and the running backs is really, really nice right now.
They're going to mark him a yard short, so fourth and 1 from the 2-yard line. Connor split left. Gavin split wide right. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. Here's a snap. It's a good one. They're going to hand it to Tristan straight up the middle. And I think he's going to have enough for a first down. Look at Keegan Winkler with a little tush push there. And I think that's going to be enough for the first.
Certainly should be. They only had about a foot to go, and that's
First
what
down.
they're going to mark. So that'll give us first and goal from probably, it looks like about the 1, maybe the 2-yard line.
What a heads-up play by Keegan. Tristan had stood up there a little bit, but hadn't stopped moving his feet, and Keegan pushed in and tried to get the pack moving forward. Did a nice job there. All right, first and goal for your Panthers. They're going to hand it to Tristan once again, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. Panthers score with 4:19 to go here in the first quarter.
Great job by the Panthers. Followed Derek Nasker's lead block at right guard, and Gavin Adams was lined up behind him and just powered their way right into the goal line. Great first drive for the Panthers. This is not what we saw last week at all. We were chasing points right off the get-go. Nice to come down here and answer back in that quick fashion.
Yeah, great job by the Panthers offense to answer. And Evans going to attempt a point after. Max is our holder. Caleb is our long snapper. And it looks like Rockridge is going to jump off sides. Boy, that seems to be happening a lot.
Yeah, the only deal with that is I think of the 3 times we've got them to jump, we've only scored 1 time on the 2-point conversion. So we need to capitalize on this little gain that we get by getting them to jump off sides.
So we'll accept that penalty. That'll move the ball half the distance to the goal. Panthers will have it at the 1.5 and are going to go for 2. Keegan and Tristan in the backfield. Max and Gavin in the slot to the right. Looking to throw the football. Rolling right, throwing, and got a man open, and it's going to be incomplete. And Panthers are going to come up on the empty end of that 2-point conversion. That ball intended for Gavin. And with 4:19 to go here in the first quarter, 7-6 your score. Rockridge on top.
Yeah, they tried to roll to that short side and hit the slot doing a little bit of an out. And he had his hand on it, but it bobbled out. It would have been a toe drag to try and keep that in bounds. So that's going to make it 7-6 Rockridge with 4:19 to go in this first quarter. As EP will be kicking off to them again. See if Evan can maybe try and drive them on a little bit deeper there and pin them back and not give them a good return.
I'm playing around with my mic just a little bit to see if maybe we can balance out our volumes a little bit between Scott and I.
Well, you're a known very enthusiastic reporter here, so commentator.
To some. All right, let us know if that maybe a little better on the mic balancing. All right, Evan. No, that is not Evan. That is 24.
Well, I wondered about that on that first kickoff.
And he is not on our roster, so I'm not sure who's kicking off for us. And there's the kick, and it's a end over end. Is going to get fielded about 23-yard line cleanly, and he's got a gap, and he's got one man to beat. He's got him beat. Looks like this one's going to get returned to the house for about a 76-yard return.
Yeah, that was a kick just exactly like how the game started, right to the 20, and he was able to get through the initial Panthers that were down there and had nothing but green grass in front of him all the way down the left sideline. So a quick answer back for the Rockets.
Panthers go down 13-6.
Yeah, we may have to start kicking it on the ground.
Yep.
Looks like we've avoided most of the rain. I can see it off there to the west. It rained pretty good before the game. Hasn't slowed down the scoring attack with 3 touchdowns here with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter still.
And being up 13-6, it looks like the Rockets are going to actually just try to kick an extra point here. And the kick is up and good. And with that, 14-6 is your score with 4:07 to go here in the first quarter. And an unfortunate turn of events there. And just got word from the coaching staff that our new kicker is Justin Pearson. He's a sophomore. He's a freshman, excuse me. And he is the quarterback on the fresh soft team. And brought him up for kicking purposes here. He's doing an outstanding job at the fresh soft level.
Well, they may have to try another strategy on the next kickoff because both of them were right to the near returner here on the left side, and he was able to find good ground on that last one. So let's see if Gavin Adams and Noah Wetzel can answer back. Oh, there was some lightning in the distance. That might be an issue.
And with that, the whistle blew, and that's going to be a 30-minute. 30. It was 30 in Provincetown unless we have different rules in Erie.
Yeah, they maybe say it was far enough away that we'll play on.
It was heat lightning.
Yeah. Never strikes in the same place twice anyway.
All right. So, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, we were stacking delays week 1.
Yep. 4:07 to go here, down 14-6. Rockridge getting set to kick off. Gavin and Wetzel. Oh, and then another bad break for the Panthers. The kick was a line drive and went off of one of our front men, and Rockridge falls on it.
Yeah, you see that a lot at the NFL level where kickers can accurately just boot one off of a front guy. I don't know if that's what he meant to do or if it just was bad luck as our front line was turning to run back to a position and to get in blocking formation. Bounced off his back, went right back to the Rockets. They're going to take over right at midfield. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
A little reminiscent of just stacking up bad things one after another from last week that kind of got us in a quick hole. So Panther defense needing to step up here and get a stop. Down 14-6, 4:05 to go here in the first quarter. Ball just inside Panther territory at the 49-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Rockets. Wide receiver split each way. They're going to hand the ball off right up the middle. And a short gain. Good job by the interior line of the Panthers.
Yeah, led there with, I believe, John Holland and Derek Nasker. Big Caleb Reamer on that right side as well. 2nd and 8.
And we do have some lightning off in the distance. And officials are going to blow the whistle. And I think we'll have to see what the plays or what the call is going to be here. And they're going to call the players off the field, and likely that's going to be a 30-minute delay.
Let me check the old weather app here and see what it looks like. Yeah, it's fairly off in the distance. It's over by the river. There is a little small cell coming up behind us. It's very unfortunate. You got a plan?
I don't have a plan, but I do want to cover some other sports that are going on right now. I'm going to start with girls golf. They've just been on a roll. We've been talking about them each week and continued to be on a roll this last week. Let's start with the conference meet. That happened on Wednesday. Conference champs by 15 strokes. Izzy Johnston is a conference medalist with a score of 85. Michelle Nosker tied for second, lost on a card back. She had an 88. Earlier in the week at Stillman Valley Invite, that was up at Prairie View, they finished third out of 7. Bailey Snowden finished with a 96. That's a tough course. She was 6th overall. Michelle Nosker had that ace. We actually talked about that in last week's broadcast. And then on on Monday they had a meet. That was senior night. They won that one. Izzy was the medalist with a 41, and Michelle had a 42. And then Thursday night, they're home away from home at Wyatt Hills, and that's never Well, I'll just leave that where it's at. Not my favorite place to play golf, but they've had multiple meets there this year. They won that one. Izzy, again, the medalist. Taylor Richmond with a career low 49. And so, again, just been on a big run. This coming week, they got a couple of matches. Rockridge and Cambridge on Tuesday. Wednesday, they're Newman and Orion. And then next week, they have regionals. And so, on a run.
Do you know where the regionals is?
It's at Lake Carroll. I talked to Coach Tickler. And he's actually going to take the girls up there and get a round in here coming up fairly quick, maybe next Friday. So good luck to the girls. Keep playing well and enjoy the ride. Boys golf. Let's see. Last Saturday was the Baker Park Kewanee Invite. I think we talked about that a little bit. Top EP finisher was Grayson Johnston. That's Izzy's brother. He's a freshman. Shot an 86. That was good enough for 35th out of 120 golfers. And the team finished 10th out of 22 teams. Monday, they lost to Rockridge by just 3 strokes. Gavin Van Dyke, Sawyer Copeland, and Grayson Johnston all shot 45s. And then I got these scores in. Couldn't believe it when I saw it. Last night, they went to Riverdale. Riverdale's always got – they went to Byron Hills.
Yes.
Riverdale's always got a solid team. They lost by 21 strokes. Gavin Van Dyke shot a 37. So solid round of golf. The medalist for Riverdale shot 32, 3 under par. And so just some outstanding golf being played.
Yeah,
over
that's not uncommon for a Riverdale. That is for sure.
Yep. The boys golf team have the Oregon Invite at Sunset. That's another great course to play. Coming up tomorrow. And then Tuesday they have conference at Chapel Hill. Volleyball still on a roll. They didn't have a very busy week this week. Tuesday they played at Mendota, straight set winners 2, and they run their record to 11-2. So congratulations to them, playing great. Cross country team did not have any activity this week. JFL action last Saturday. They were winners over Hall, both the 7th and 8th grade levels. 7th grade won 12-6. The 8th grade won 31-0. Tomorrow they have a home game against Riverdale. Those games are played in Prophetstown this year, 10 o'clock and 11:30. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow, come on over. And fresh off, I want to end with that, and then we're going to take a short break because we are on a lightning delay. Fresh Soft ran their record to 3-0 behind Coach Foster. They beat Newman on Monday night 18-6 behind a great defensive effort. Outside linebacker Noah Burke had a breakout game and had several tackles for loss. On the offensive side of the ball, James Lopez ran for a couple of touchdowns. QB Justin Pearson, who's our kickoff guy tonight, connected with Lane Decker in the 4th for a touchdown. And Coach Foster's message to this team all year has been send a message to the conference that EP's here, and we're here to stay, and they're certainly doing that right now, running their record to 3-0. So congratulations to the Fresh Soft football team on where they're at so far in the season. They'll be playing this coming Monday, and they'll be traveling to Rockridge. So if you don't have anything going Monday night, drive on down and catch a little bit of that action. So we are on a 15-minute delay.
Yeah, is it just 15 minutes? Is that what you heard them say?
That's what I just heard those guys.
Okay, I didn't hear that for sure. I thought I just saw another bolt of lightning over there. So just this is back-to-back home games for us. We've had to deal with this. It just isn't working out very well for us. There's really not that much weather in the area. And that first game when we ended up being postponed until Saturday, we were one of the very few games that did get canceled at that time.
Yeah, just a quick game summary, and then I think we'll probably just go silent for just a little while. Rockridge struck first with a 6-yard QB run by Schweigen, and the PAT was good to run the score 7-0. And then the EP Panther offense answered quickly, and Tristan was able to get in with a 1-yard touchdown run. That 2-point conversion was no good. 7-6 was your score at that point, and then the ensuing kickoff was returned 76 yards by the Rockets, and that PAT was good, and that brings our score to 14-6, which is where it stands right now. Again, on a delay, so we're going to step away for about 10 minutes. We'll come back. We'll give you an update on the weather and give you a game time.
Yeah, why don't we just try to come back like at 7:35 or around that, and we'll just give an update as to what we're going to be doing at that point.
Okay. Hey, on the screen, actually, yeah, good idea, Josh. That's why we have him in the role that he's in. He's got a face for radio, and so he's really good behind the scenes. And so on your screen, you got a countdown there. We'll come back on the air when that hits 0, and we'll give you an update on where things are at. Until then, go grab yourself a bite to eat, something to drink. We'll be back. Hey, just a quick update. We just got the word that we're going to do a 3-minute warm-up for all players, and they're just coming back onto the field. And then we're going to get the first half in, and we're going to kind of play it by ear then. Sounds like another system might be coming in, so we'll have to see what the second half is going to bring us. But, again, 3-minute warm-up, and then we'll get underway. We'll have 3 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the first half. We'll step aside for just another couple minutes, come back on, and bring you the rest of the first half action. All right, we're back here live from Wayne Hine Memorial Field here in Erie, where your Panthers are trailing the Rockridge Rockets 14-6, just coming to the end of a lightning delay, and got about another minute, just over a minute before we resume action. Again, your Panthers down 14-6. Rockets struck first, and trying to get that sheet out here. Struck first with a 6-yard quarterback run by Schweigen, and that put them up 7-0. Panthers struck on that next drive. Actually had a nice long sustained drive, and Tristan was able to knock it in from a yard out. 2-point conversion was no good. The score was 7-6 at that time, and then the ensuing kickoff was a return for a touchdown by Rockridge, and that was a 76-yard return. And then the following kickoff was no bueno for us. Rockridge kicker kicked it right off of one of our front linemen, and Rockridge recovered it. And then the lightning hit. Play was called, and that's where we stand right now. Scott, you got a couple of scores you want to update on?
Yeah, I'm running here through the score app, and it shows that Princeton is leading Kewanee 42-6 in the first quarter. Hopefully these are accurate scores. Riverdale up 22-8 over Mercer County. Sherrard and Hall are in a one-touchdown battle. It's 7-6 Sherrard at Spring Valley Hall. And looks like Newman is up 7-0 on Orion. Monmouth-Roseville is up 27-0 on Mendota. That's about all I got for the conference right now. Looks like play's ready to go.
All right, 2nd and 9. Play is back underway. 3:37 to go here in the first quarter. Rockridge, even though they had all the time in the world, going to wait on a play to get called in from the sideline. A couple of receivers, one split each way. They're going to hand the ball up right up the middle in a big gap up past the first down marker. and he's going to pick up about 15 on that play.
Yeah, Gavin Adams came in there from his safety position, was able to bring him down, not before a big first down. Rockridge certainly had the momentum going into that lightning delay, and hopefully we can turn it around here with that little break. But that run for a first down might keep them going.
Ball at the 36-yard line of the Panthers. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. A lengthy first quarter. And they're going to run that same play again, going to run it off right guard this time. And this time the Panthers do a better job and going to get a short gain. Looks like maybe 2 on that play.
That was a nice job over there. Max Milam was involved with that, as was number 20, Lane Decker.
Lane Decker, a sophomore. First year in the program for Lane. Transfer from Morrison. Parents moved into the district. Good to have Lane in the program. Look forward to, really athletic kid. Look forward to having him shine for the Panthers in the next couple of years. 3 receivers split out here to the left for Rockridge. Gonna throw the ball over to the right, and it's dropped. And looked like Connor Keegan looked like he was going to try to step in front of that.
Yeah, he almost jumped that route like he did twice in that first game. Wasn't able to do it. Slot receiver here for Rockridge really looked like they jumped the gun on that snap. No call was made. Bring up 3rd and 9 from the Panther 35-yard line with 2:17 to go in the first quarter.
Same formation for the Rockets. Both times previously that they've had this formation, they've gone to the single receiver to the right. We'll see what Rockridge wants to do again with this. There's a snap. It's a good one. Going to throw it out in the flat on a little wheel route, and he's got a lot of room. And looks like the Panthers are going to be able to stop him short of the first down. Nice job with pursuit from the secondary to swallow him up.
Yes, Connor Keegan was over there. Tristan Hovey got in there to help stop him. Brings up 4th and about 2, it looks like. Kind of interesting. It seems like most of their passes have been to that short side on the right side. They must really, I don't know if the quarterback is more comfortable throwing to the right, but it seems to be where most of his passes have gone to this point.
All right, 4th down, a big 4th down play for the Panther defense. Ball on the 27-yard line. A little bit tighter formation for the Rockets, and they're going to hand the ball right up the middle. And, good job by the Panther defense. I think they may have stopped them.
It certainly looks like it, the way the line judges are coming in. He definitely is going to be short. Great job by the middle of the defense there for the Panthers.
That'd be Holland and Reamer. It looked like both in on that stop, along with Jordan Crow.
Boy, that's the momentum changer we wanted, that little break. Sometimes can work in your advantage. Maybe reminiscent of the Cubs winning the World Series after a rain delay against the Indians.
All right, Panthers back on the field with their offensive unit. 1:27 to go here, down a touchdown. See if Keegan can march these guys right back down the field again. Tristan in the backfield. Got a couple of receivers split way to the right here with Connor and Gavin. Keegan's going to keep it himself, going to go off a lead block, and stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he didn't really have much to go there. He didn't have a chance to dive forward on that, as there was kind of just a pile. We were really split wide. Both the receivers were clear out to the numbers, well outside of the hash. 1:10 to go here in the first quarter.
Picked up more than I thought. They're going to give him a gain of 2 on that. Bring up 2nd and 8. Ball on the 30-yard line of the Panthers. Man in motion is Evan Steinley. Going to throw the football. Good protection. Throws across the middle. Got a man caught. That's Gavin Adams again. Past the first down marker. Moved the chains.
Yeah, Evan Steinley came out there and did an out and kind of took the eyes off of the safety took his eyes off Gavin Adams running that in. Keegan has really thrown the ball with a lot more strength the last couple weeks and drove one in there to Gavin.
Gavin has become the target for the Panthers through the first few weeks of this season. Connor, the lone receiver here to the right, 2 receivers to the left. And they're going to hand the ball off to Tristan. And he's got a couple of guys. He's running really hard this year. I think he's made some big strides in the way that he's been able to avoid tackles this year.
Yeah, he really has. He had that, 3rd or 4th possession we had at Newman last week. He had 3 great runs. 1 got called back. but showed that sort of intensity on the runs like he did right there. Jordan Crow led that block right there. So that'll bring us to an end of the first quarter, and the partisan home crowd is on their feet, really enthused with the way we came out here against the state-ranked Rockets.
14-6 is your score, and Chain Gang grateful for where the ball is spotted. It was at the 49-yard line, and not far for any of those guys to go. Scott, I don't know if you can get an eye on who those guys are tonight. Maybe give them a shout out.
Well, it looks like Mike Winkler, and I believe that's McKay over there with the first down marker.
I think you're right, Keith.
Yep, Keith McKay, Winkler, Craig Wolf, and I can't quite tell who their spotter is. Does Chad Jepson sound like it could be over there?
Yep,
there's your crew.
Like all right, thank you to those guys. Of course, the area ambulance crew staged and ready to go if needed. Certainly hope we don't.
Yeah, their most important job is to turn those lights on when we score a touchdown.
Absolutely.
I remember one year when I was coaching, we had the Armory would come here with a cannon.
I do remember
and we
those
played,
days.
Yeah, we played Savannah, and we scored about 6 touchdowns. Well, they scored about 5. So every time they scored, their whole crowd would go 1, 2, 3, boom. It was kind of a mocking.
All right, 2nd and 3 to start the second quarter for the Panthers. Ball on their own 49-yard line. Keegan in the shotgun. And they're going to hand the ball off on an inside handoff to Gavin Adams. And he's stacked up. Oh, he stays on his feet. And that kid has got some pep in his step.
Wow, I can't believe the delay on the whistle on that, because he got hit and knocked back about 2 yards. It was away from far enough across the field I couldn't really see it. Obviously, there was no whistle. Great second effort, and they moved him ahead for a first down. Tremendous job by Gavin, who, like you say, he's really kind of been the focal point the last 2 weeks for sure.
So with that second effort, that moved the chains. Ball inside of the Rocket territory. 11:30 to go. Clock ticking. Panthers down a score. Certainly offensively, we've proven that we can move the ball against this Rockridge defensive unit. There's a snap, and they're going to hand the ball off to Tristan, and he cuts it up. Does a nice job staying on his feet. Gets inside the 45-yard line.
That's that elephant walk we talked about last year, where the running back puts his hand on the ground to try and keep balance. And Tristan has a tremendous wrestling background, which helps, and he's low to the ground. And he actually got 2 hands on the ground on that one to dive forward for about 4 yards.
Yeah, it's one of the few things in life that being a wrestler helps you out with. All right, gain of 4 on that play. 10:49 to go here in the second quarter.
Fills your room up with trophies.
Yeah, participation trophies. All right. Enough of the hammering on the wrestlers. All right, here we go. 3 receivers, Max in motion from left to right. And Keegan's going to keep this himself, and it's going to fall forward for a nice little gain, going to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, they kind of faked with Tristan going out there on that pitch. We see that all the time with Keegan keeping it. I'm just waiting for the phone to light up with, Clark's going to have something to say about that. Maybe he's not back yet. So I'm going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Panthers with 10 minutes to go in this first half, trailing 14-6. The eye test, we were moving the ball better than we really have since week 1, because we didn't look that great against Hall offensively, even though we did win the game, and really didn't get a whole lot going at all last week against Newman.
Agreed. Ball spotted right on the Rocket 40-yard line. Max and Connor split wide right. Connor Johnson here to the near left. Max in motion. Keegan's going to keep it himself. He's going to try to go off right tackle, and we've got a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be in the area of a hold.
Got to be. That's usually where that flag comes in. Right there in the interior line. John Holland not Holland. It looked like Jordan Crow was out there trying to lead block.
And the call on the field is a hold against the Panthers, the first penalty of the night. And that'll likely be accepted by the Rockets.
Yeah, we got just enough yardage on that they wouldn't want to give us 4th and short.
Now back to Panthers right up to midfield and bring up a 3rd and 12.
Max Milan coming off. I didn't see who came back in for him. Max has looked good this year after a really slow start we saw in week 0 against that glorified scrimmage.
Yeah, and just amazes me what Max is able to do with a torn ACL. All right, 3 receivers split wide right. Going to pass the football. Good protection. Going to get flushed out now. Looking to throw the football. He's throwing it deep. A nice ball deep. And there should be a flag on that play, and I don't see anything. Holy smokes, folks. That was Gavin Adams was the intended receiver, and his arms were just being held down, and no flag and an incomplete pass.
Yeah, great job by Keegan to buy himself time. And what I like about that play is he threw it really deep. So if it is intercepted, it's almost just like a punt anyway. So it wasn't intercepted. So now it's going to bring up 4th down and 11, and Keegan will go back to do the punting.
Keegan standing at his own 38-yard line. And not a very good kick. It's high. It will not be returned. And it's going to take a Rockridge bounce. And going to get down at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, we weren't able to pin them deep. But honestly, if he would have kicked it to about the 15, more than likely they would have returned it to about the 30. So that's about where they were going to start. They didn't have a chance to return it for a big gain. So we'll take it. 9:15 to go in this half. See if the defense is up to the task again.
Trying to rewatch that pass interference play. All right, Rockridge has the ball, 1st and 10. Got a couple of receivers split right. Going to throw the football. Looking right. Got good, a little bit of pressure by Nosker. Good job. Going to throw the ball deep. He's got a man. And good coverage downfield by Connor Keegan. And some help there by number 20 as well, Lane Decker.
Yeah, quarterback got flushed out, almost got knocked down there by Derek Nosker, but he showed a really good arm strength to be able to heave it down there on the run. But Connor had great coverage. He's probably kind of torn between gambling on that interception, and he just chose wisely to knock it down.
Second and 10 for the Rockets. Familiar set for Rockridge, 3 receivers split wide right. Got a man in the backfield. Going to throw the football again. Good pressure by the defense again. Jordy Crow on the run, and he's going to underthrow his intended receiver. Defensive line doing a really good job getting pressure to the quarterback.
Yeah, that was Evan Steinley that got in there first and just missed getting the sack. Jordy Crow continued to put pressure on him. And Lane Decker on the nice coverage there, right there when the pass went incomplete. Lane Decker, we've been saying his name a lot the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, talking with the coaching staff, he may be the most athletic kid we have in the program. And just a sophomore, and they're high on him. And just needed to get him acclimated into the system, and I think we may see more and more of him. All right, 3rd and 10 for the Rockridge. 8:55 to go here in the half. Tight formation. Going to roll out right, going to throw right, got a strong. That ball's off the intended receiver and just out of the outstretched hands of Keegan Winkler for the potential interception. Falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, a much more bunch formation from Rockridge than we've seen, but they did still get 3 receivers to the wide side of the field out of that formation. Almost got the old pick on the tip play. Going to bring up a punting situation with Connor Keegan back to receive this punt.
Connor's going to back up to about his 30-yard line for this return. And the kick is up. It's not a very good one. It will not be fielded. And it goes out of bounds. Panthers going to have really good starting field position around midfield.
Yeah, that was, I would say, a duck hook. Hate to see those when you're golfing, but Panthers like to see the Rockridge punter do that. It's going to give us great field position. Inside the Rockridge territory, we're going to start on the 48. Those are the ones that drive you crazy as a coach. You're like, we could have gone for it and ended up about the same spot. 8:39 to go in the half. Rockridge up 14-6.
So the Panthers taking the ball over inside Rockridge territory, 8:39, like Scott said, and just trailing by a score. Panthers playing a much better football game than what we saw last weekend against Newman. And in motion is Evan Steinley. And Tristan's going to get a ball on the inside handoff on a little misdirection. Sniffed out well by the Rockets defense.
Yeah, there wasn't anything going on that. They were kind of reading that. I wonder if we're going to try and give it a try out here on the outside sometime with Connor Johnson. Use that size he has at 6'2", 175. The defender is on island defense out there with no help anywhere near him. Everyone else on the hash or in the middle of the field. So that opportunity is there. We'll see if we strike for it later.
You're going to give him a gain of about a half a yard on that. So we'll keep it 2nd and 10. Ball on the 48-yard line of the Rockets. Connor Johnson out here to the left. Got one receiver split wide right. And Keegan's going to keep it himself. Got a couple of blockers. Nice pickup there on 2nd down to bring up a 3rd and medium.
Yeah, it looked like Keegan doing his little Tristan Hovey impersonation there, trying to keep his balance. Great job going forward on that. I thought he got a little bit more than where that spot is, but might have been where he went down. He slid forward for the rest.
Yeah, that's what basketball players do. They keep their balance and keep moving forward.
3rd and 7 from their Rockridge 45.
7:24 to go here in the first half. And I agree with you. I thought Keegan was able to get a little bit more than what the officials gave him on that. Must have saw that his knee hit. A couple of receivers in the slot right, actually 3 of them. They're going to throw the football. Good defense, or excuse me, good protection. Got a man open and just overthrows the intended receiver, number 2, Connor Keegan.
Yeah,
4th down.
That looked like the setup to Connor Johnson that we were just talking about 2 plays ago, but Keegan dropped back and just he must have been trying to hit Connor on the underneath because Connor Johnson was open, but he outran the length that Keegan Winkler could throw on that. So that's why it looked like Connor was the intended receiver.
And the Panthers set to punt it away again. Ball on the 45-yard line. And he kicks this one away, and that's a good kick. I think it's going to end up getting into the end zone. And with the end over end, and he end up getting a forward bounce. And a 45-yard kick is going to net to 25.
Yeah, sometimes you really like those bounces. If I recall, Keegan was state ranked in yards after the bounce on punts last year. And we hadn't really seen that much this year, and he brought it back.
That was an unofficial ranking, by the way.
Yes, yeah. But a great weapon in his repertoire.
All right, Rockridge back on offense. Up a touchdown on the Panthers, 6:47 to go here in the half. They're going to hand the ball off up the middle, and a little bit of an opening there is going to pick up 5 or 6 on that play.
Yeah, big gain there. Looked like Lane Decker was in there first. Caleb Reamer got in there, Jordan Crow as well. Rockridge has not huddled up yet once. It's all the linemen have the plays on their hands. You can see them looking down at their wrists now to get the plays.
2nd and 4. And they're going to run the same play again. And does a nice job of getting forward close to the 1st down.
Yeah, that was bottled up, and he was able to spin out of that. Found good room in the middle of that line. Going to bring up 1st and 10. Rockridge at about their own 31-yard line. 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Hey, there's a name from a couple years ago, Trevor Cobo. Let's go EP. Hope things are going well for you. All right, back to passes. They got a man open across the middle, and he's up to the 40. Good job by Gavin Adams to wrap him up and bring him down. Looked like he was going to be able to make the corner there, but Gavin said, no, you're not going to, and nice open field tackle.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. That was a really nice design play. They ran it out over here, and then they cleared someone deep, and then that was a drag across the middle, and that's a lot for a defense to try and process. And Gavin has saved a long gain on that with that tackle because he would have been able to turn the corner. Brings up 2nd and short, however.
2nd and 1 for the Panthers. Ball at the Rockridge 41-yard line. Going to try to throw the football again. Going to go long on a go route, and good defensive coverage there by Keegan Winkler, and out the outstretched arms of the intended receiver.
Yeah, he was all by himself out there. He was giving up some height to that receiver. Ball had to be dropped in there perfect with the tight coverage that Keegan gave him. It's a pretty nice throw out there. We haven't seen that length out of on his arm yet. That was across the field from the near hash.
See if the Panthers want to tighten up that defensive line right now. And likely Rockridge is going to want to try to run this thing right up the middle and try to get a first down. Oh, and Derek Nosker get a little happy there and comes across the line. I'm not sure that we've seen that all year where we've had an encroachment.
Right, yeah, we've been real good at staying back and waiting for the snap count. But, like you said, it was 3rd and short. We were really doing everything we could to try and put them in a 4th down situation. Gave them the freebie. They're still on their side of the field, though, so let's just new set of downs and try and get them stopped. 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Going to roll out left. Looking to throw the football, and this kid's got an arm. Catches the ball at the 40-yard line, and the receiver just steps out of the bounds. Ball inside Panther territory.
Yeah, we had good pursuit up there by the line. Keegan Winkler in there, Derek Nosker. But a little soft in the secondary, and the quarterback did a really nice job of finding the receiver. First and 10.
Really impressed with Schweigen's arm strength, being able to throw on the run. And again, just a junior.
Is he really?
We'll have to put up with him for another year. Big kid, we don't have size stats on any of these guys, but certainly looks like a college-level build for a body. Certainly the arm strength to go play somewhere. 3 receivers split right for the Rockets. Going to throw the football again. They're setting up a screen, and they got a guy open. Oh, and got it. Going to get brought down at about, after pickup of about 12. Sorry, I've kind of lost my train of thought there because Gavin Adams got absolutely destroyed on a block there.
Yeah, he got decleated on that. The whole line was they just said, let you run through there. You think you got it. It's fool's gold because the line just let you go as they're setting up the screen. Gavin Adams was trying to get in there, and when he turned around on that cutback, he got leveled. To his credit, he got right back up.
All right, the Rockets on the move inside the 30-yard line of the Panthers. They're going to hand this one off. There's kind of a telltale. Actually, it's an option. The quarterback kept it himself. He's got a nice gain. He's going to be up past the first down marker. But there was, I don't know if you could see that or not, but the quarterback, you could actually see his left leg was actually back. You could tell he was working something with a handoff there. Yeah,
a little read option look, and Schweigen showed great strength on that run, too, as he finished it.
And in Coach Whitebread's Panther points, the key was to take one of them away. They're about a 60-40 run-pass offense, and Coach Whitebread's comment was we got to take one of them away, make them one-dimensional, and the key was to try to take the run away today, which they've done a pretty good job with overall.
Right. It's at the high school level, you still got to pass it and catch it. So if you can stop the run, that's where you want to start your defense.
All right, they're going to hand the ball off this time and read really well. Derek Nosker and big Caleb Reamer right there to meet him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the big duo that's been playing together for a couple years, and they still got another one to go. They knocked them back for, looks like, close to a 4-yard loss. Orman got his first plethora of Panthers call in there. The new sound system and the new lights here at the Erie's Field. New press box. We're living large here, Scott.
We are. It's a great press box. And Trevor, good luck tomorrow. Looks like you got a game at 6. Appreciate you supporting the EP Panthers. Of course, Trevor, a big part of the playoff team, went a couple of rounds a few years ago. Colby Franks, Mason Misfeld, a couple other names on that field. All right, good job by Derek Nosker to sniff out a little pitch play to the right and brought it down.
It really was. We got starting to rain heavily here as the faithful are pulling out their umbrellas. Going to make it a challenge to hang on to the ball. We got 3 minutes to go in this first half. The administration is just hoping to get through this first half and let the weather go through during the halftime. It's just a really small cell to the south of us, Scott. We might be able to get through this.
Yeah, it's not bothering us here.
No, we are high and dry.
As long as we can get the scuttle closed and leave Bill upstairs.
I wonder if he wants
All right, third and looks like about 17. Third and 20, excuse me. Looking to throw the football again, and throws one up, and the receivers ran the wrong route there. Keegan tried to get underneath of it and just couldn't.
Yeah, they were not on the same page on that, and Keegan read that much better than he did. Good pressure in there as well. Make the quarterback make that throw. With these new no-glare lights we have here at the field, we can just magnificently see the rain coming down.
Hey, can you close that?
He's got the trash bag. Well, I didn't know if they wanted to come down.
Yeah, I don't want it getting wet in here. All right, we're trying to.
Do you want us to close this?
Yes, please. All right, we got the scuttle hole to get up to the rooftop in here, and we want to make sure that we're.
Yeah, we don't want to flood our room.
All right, 2:35 to go here in the first half, and it's raining pretty good right now. Fourth down and 20. Throwing it across the middle, got a man open, and it squirts out of his hands, and the Panthers are going to take over on downs.
It really did. We kind of dodged one there. He got a hand on it. Connor Keegan was in on that coverage. This rain, I tell you what, if I look at the radar, it really doesn't seem like it's raining as hard as it is. We got a Chinese fire drill going up here with trying to get the camera dry and get the scuttle hole shut because we got to batten the hatches here. We got to stay dry out here in mission control. 2:28 to go in the first half. EP's going to take over. See what we got in store to try and get through this first half.
Bill, we wish you the very best of luck up there with the camera in the next 2 minutes. All right, Panthers are taking over first and 10. Ball just out of the outstretched hands, actually right through the hands of the intended receiver. That would have been a first down. And Keegan's going to hand the ball off to Tristan, and he breaks through. He's got one man to beat. And great job by the Panthers, and Tristan running hard up past midfield, and the clock will stop.
Yeah, everyone's got a little momentum. We got the players jumping up and down on the sideline here. Sometimes, high school kids love the rain. It just brings excitement to play in this kind of condition. It is coming down about as hard as I've ever seen it for a high school game. First down for the Panthers with 2:17 to go in the half. They're across midfield on the Rockets' 47-yard line.
All right, first and 10 for the Panthers. I'm trying to find a spot where I don't get rained on here. Up under center, and I think that's a really smart call. And the ball's going to fall to the ground, but Keegan's able to fall on it.
Yeah, he did a good job of getting on that. It's, quarterback exchange is tough. Wet football. What's going on up there?
And again, we're just trying to get through this first half, and I think, like Scott said, there's a small cell. It should be through us at halftime and get back to some dry weather. Some crazy football weather here for our first couple of home games. Second, they're going to give it a loss on that play of about 1, so second and 11 for the Panthers.
Looks like they're trying to bring in a dry ball after each play.
Up under center is the Panthers. High formation. They're going to hand the ball off to the first back through. And it looks like the ball's on the ground, and Rockridge claims that they have it. And they do.
Yeah, right up the middle there. Just trying to get through the half there. The quarterback exchange to the running back. I didn't see how it popped out. There was just a pile. 1:28 to go in this first half. Boy, it's sure would have been nice to run that out, but now the defense is going to have to step up. You got to be thinking they're going to be running the ball. Be kind of tough to pass in this situation, but we'll see what Rockridge wants to do.
Negates a really good run by Tristan. Just about broke it to the house. But fortunately he did and gave the Panthers defense a little bit of room here.
I'd be shocked if Schwiegen gets rid of this ball.
And they're going to hand the ball right up the middle. And he's got a nice run up near the first down marker. He's going to have enough for the first down to about the Panther 40-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately he's able to get that first down. And that will stop the clock while they're moving the chains. The officials are talking over here. There is a flag on the field. I'm more than likely Rockridge was not in the right formation, but we'll see what the call is.
You're exactly right, Scott. Illegal formation against the Rockets, and that'll negate that first down run for a first down. And we'll back them up 5 yards. It'll be first and 15.
Yeah, that is a big break for the Panthers because that was a big run there.
Thank you.
And that's going to make it first and 15. It's if they have a dry football, it'll be much easier to throw as the weather is definitely changed a little bit. I feel sorry for all the people down in the stands, but we're high and dry here.
Minute 13 to go, clock running. Shotgun formation for the Rockets. And they're going to run it right up the middle with the quarterback. And it's going to get back to just past the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down. And the clock will continue to click off. And it doesn't look like Rockridge is going to want to burn any timeouts.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another dose of Schwieg in there. Quite possibly they could hand it off to that big running back, Sewards, as we've seen. But
you've done really well up to now. It's Schweigen and Soward.
Well, you know, my fans love it.
All right, second down and 9. Quarterback's going to keep it and roll out to the right here, looking to throw the football. Got good pressure, and ball is caught at the 45-yard line.
Why did they call the clock dead on that? I don't understand. It wasn't a first down, and he was inbounds. Now they get the clock going. They never should have stopped it.
They shouldn't have. He was down in bounds. That's a good call, Scott. And now the Rockridge Rockets are going to burn a timeout.
Yeah, I think the official just lost track of what was going on over here. I think he might have thought that was a first down, which it wasn't. So sometimes they make mistakes. We saw that in week 1 on the most delicate penalty flag drop ever.
Yeah, after a minute and a half.
Yeah.
So resetting right now. It's going to be 3rd and 4 coming out of the timeout. 19 seconds to go. Panthers doing a pretty good job so far defensively. I mean, the Rockets have put up 14 points, but what a high-powered offense that this Rockets team is obviously bringing into this football game. So all in all, I think the Panther defense has done a really good job this
Yeah, they did an outstanding job. One of their scores was on a kickoff return, so we've really held their offense in check. EP kicked off to start this game, so we're going to get the ball to start the second half, get that one extra possession. It's imperative that we find a way to get this, get out of this half with this 14-6 score.
Yeah, and, you know, you talk about that kickoff return for a touchdown. And so we've had a kickoff return for a touchdown. We had a turnover on the kickoff that hit one of our guys in the front line. Mm-hmm. So we've had a couple of really bad breaks and miscues that have really it's the difference in the ball game, but still we're in striking distance, down just 14-6.
There's 24 seconds on the clock.
Well,
24.
They're saying
There's a.
They're saying there should be 24 seconds on the clock.
Looks like the officials are wanting to put 24 seconds back on the clock, which is
more than they should have got.
Abhorrent because it's.
I know.
That was already a poor call to start, so then we can do that. We could say those kinds of things because we're not FCC licensed, I guess.
There you go.
All right, 24 seconds to go here. Rockets still have 2 timeouts to burn. Tight formation with 3 trips in the slot formation to the right. And they're going to hand the ball off to the left side, and nice job by number 50, Jordan Crow.
Yeah, he gets a stop just after they get a first down, so if our chain gang can quickly get the chains moved. Are they not signaling for a first down? Oh, Rockridge called timeout.
Okay, so they are going to give him a first down. Rockridge did immediately call the timeout. They didn't want to burn any more clock. And with 18 seconds left on the clock, we got a little scampering to the finish line here.
That's for sure. They're going to have a dry football. The rain has stopped. We just got to find a way to get out of this half right where we are, get a little dry off a little bit at halftime, try and come out with that second half kickoff return and get their momentum back. See what kind of plays they have. They got 1 timeout left, so they got the whole playbook available to them.
Again, the Panther defensive backfield, big adjustments from last week where we really had some breakdowns throughout the course of that game. This week we've been pretty tight, actually really tight. And so we'll need to finish strong here in the first half. Tight formation again, just a single receiver right here. They're going to hand the ball off once again, and he's going to have a nice gain, going to be up past the first down marker, down to the 30-yard line. That'll stop the clock.
Yeah, EP's in kind of a bend, don't break formation. We haven't shown we were in what you would call a prevent defense with safety help deep. Normally we've just been kind of, our outside guys have been on more of an island coverage, but that was not the case because on this receiver out here that was split to our side, Evan was on him and he had safety help behind him. Same thing in the middle of the field and on the far side of the field. So that's their last time out. This is going to be the last play of the first half, barring a quick interception or incomplete pass. So, they've got to go the distance on this one. So you'll be looking at that same formation. What can really help us here is if Derek Nasker or Caleb Reamer could get in there and put some pressure on him and not give him time to get set to make a pass down the field.
29 yards to pay dirt for Rockridge. 10 seconds to go in the half. Your Panthers trailing 14-6. Rockridge out of timeouts. Both teams coming back to the field.
Need one big stand here for the Panthers. Very tight formation.
Single receiver lone left. Trips in the slot to the right. And rolls back. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. He's got a little bit of an opening, but he gets tackled by Tristan Hovey. And I think that's going to be the end of the first half. And that's the end of the half. And, yeah, the Rockridge Rockets did not get a play off. And that'll bring the first half to a close. And kind of poor clock management there. Not really understanding, especially with the rain stopping and having
right.
a foot.
Yeah, that was a very weird play, but I'm glad that it happened. Great half for the Panthers. Newman came in and just stuffed it to us right away. Rockridge coming in state ranked, and EP just up to the task tonight and looking forward to this second half. That was an exciting first half with lightning delays, torrential downpour, and great team play by the Panthers.
Yeah, we're going to step away for just a little bit. It's supposed to be a little bit of an extended halftime with the weather, and who knows what's going to happen here. We will be back to bring you first half stats and second half live action here in just a little bit. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
At Country Financial in Prophetstown, Illinois, we know life comes with risk. That's why we're here to help you protect what matters most. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, we've got the coverage you need and the local service you can trust. Planning for the future? Our team is here to help with financial planning and retirement solutions tailored to you. Visit Country Financial in Prophetstown or give us a call today. Country Financial, growing your future, protecting what matters.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Erie State Bank, we've been proudly serving our community with personalized service and a hometown touch. Whether it's checking, savings, loans, or mortgages, we're here to help you reach your financial goals. Bank local, bank smart, with online banking, mobile apps, and friendly faces ready to assist. Erie State Bank is always here for you. Visit Erie State Bank today in Erie, Illinois, and experience banking built on trust and community.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? You're not alone. Join the Gray Matters Collective, where mental health matters. With local chapters and collective coffee conversations, we're here to support you. Connect with us on Facebook at the Gray Matters Collective and be part of the community that cares. The Gray Matters Collective, because your mental health matters.
Looking for fresh, homemade treats? Visit Harvest Bakery and More in Erie, Illinois. From warm, buttery croissants to mouth-watering pies and cakes, we've got something for everyone. Need a special order for an event? We've got you covered with custom cakes and pastries that are sure to impress. Stop by today at Harvest Bakery and More on Main Street in Erie and taste the difference. Fresh, local, and made with love. Harvest Bakery and More, where every bite is a treat.
Attention all area foster and adoptive families. My name is Tiffany Garsha, and I am the founder and president of Raising Hope. Raising Hope is a nonprofit foster care closet located in Erie, Illinois, serving Whiteside, Lee, Ogle, Joe Davies, Rock Island, and Carroll counties. We reach out to area foster and adoptive families and provide emergency placement overnight bags, toiletries, clothing, diapering essentials, and more at no cost. If you ever need help with a new placement coming into your home, please reach out. Also, stay tuned for many of our upcoming events. Each summer, we sponsor a free carnival for children. During our fall time, we have a movie night. And then we also have a special angel tree around Christmas time. You can find us on Facebook at Raising Hope Erie, or you can reach out to us via email at raisinghopeerie@gmail.com. Thank you.
Panther fans, it's time to gear up and show your Panther pride. 5 Mile Creations is your hometown shop for custom EP fan gear and more. From single shirts to full team orders, 5 Mile will design and create apparel for any event. Individuals, businesses, teams, we do it all. Visit 5milecreations.com today and we'll turn your idea into reality. Go Panthers!
Hey, we're back here at Wayne Hyde Field in Erie. We're in a barn burner, 14-6. Your score. The Rockets on top of your Panthers. Just a minute away or so from the start of the second half, where your Panthers will get the football to start the second half. And Scott's got some halftime stats.
Rockridge has rushed the ball for 88 yards. 61 of those has come from number 0, Thomas Sewards. And the bulk of the rest of the yards are by Schwiegen, the quarterback, and he also is 7 for 15 passing for 74 yards out of doing that name. Tristan Hovey leading the Panthers from rushing 8 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown. Keegan Winkler was 7 carries for 19 yards to give the Panthers 71 yards on the ground. Keegan's also completed 2 out of 4 passes for 13 yards. Both of those went to Gavin Adams with his 2 receptions. EP has only 5 first downs to Rockridge's 10, yet we're still in a one-score game, 14-6.
Game summary real quick. Rockridge got on the board first with a 6-yard quarterback run by Schweigen, and that PAT was good, up 7-0. The ensuing EP Panther drive set up by Gavin Adams' kickoff return was a 1-yard touchdown run by Tristan. That extra point was no good, and then that kickoff return right after that was a 76-yarder by Rockridge, and that's where we stand, 14-6. All right, we're underway in the second half, and that ball is going to get kicked out of bounds, and penalty is on the ground, and the Panthers will get a takeover either at the 35 or where it went out. We'll have to see.
Looks like 35 the way they're, well, maybe.
It looked to me like it went out ahead of the 35, so.
Judging by that kick, the Panthers had that big kickoff return, like you said, from Gavin Adams, and their next 2 after that, the one was the unfortunate one that bounced off our front line. They were able to recover. This one was on the ground as well. So they see something. They want to keep the ball away from our big playmaker.
Ball spot at the 40-yard line. Now, I'm not saying that that maybe they don't get it at the 40, but anyway, Panthers have it, 1st and 10. Shotgun formation. The weather has cleared. Looks like we'll have a good second half. Gavin Adams in motion right to left. And Keegan's going to keep it himself. Gavin's going to give him a lead block and a nice job and a tackle for loss. Keegan goes down.
Yeah, a lot of times he'll put his foot down and try and just get what yardage he can out of that, but follow Gavin Adams up to the middle there, but he tried to break it outside, wasn't able to get out of the hands. So going to take a small loss on that play.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11, just underway here in the second half. Scott getting a little chill, going to turn the temperature up here in the room. Great job by the little kids doing halftime cheerleading. Tried to get that in week 1, but unable to with the weather. All right, empty backfield, 3 receivers left. Keegan's going to keep it himself. Short game, back past the line of scrimmage. Maybe pick up a 2 or 3 on that play.
Yeah, we got a stoppage.
They got a guy down on the field. Looks like it's a Rockridge player.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that was a direct, obviously a direct snap. He's the quarterback, but there was no option on that. He was running all the way right up the middle. A little bit of a stoppage here. I'll go through a couple more scores. 56-12, Princeton over Kewanee. That says in the first half still. 43-8, Riverdale over Mercer County. 7-6, Sherrard over Hall. Newman up 20-0 on Orion. Monmouth Roseville up 35-0 over Mendota at halftime. That's all the conference scores I've seen reported so far.
Injured Rocket is number 23, Tanner Dye, and he's a big part of their offense. Looks like he's up under his own power and walking off. Certainly hope that he's okay and able to get back into action. 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers. Ball spotted on the 42-yard line of the Panthers. 11:07 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers trailing a touchdown.
We say it every time, but it sure is nice when you play at a field that has the tall goalposts. I think that'll be coming here shortly. One of the few additions that we need for this nice field.
Tristan in the backfield with Keegan and a couple of guys in the slot on each side. Going to throw the football. Going to throw a little in route to Connor Johnson. And that ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, Keegan was playing with that. He's trying to get a grip on it after the snap. I don't know if it was a little wet from the ball being on the ground. Still made a nice pass in there to Connor. Could have been completed. Would have been short of the first down anyway. Going to bring up punting situation.
Connor got taken down at the knee there a little bit as the ball was coming in. Looked like a good defensive play, though. And 4th down, certainly in field position where we're going to need to punt the football away. 2 Rockets back deep, both set inside their 30-yard line. Long snap is good. Oh, and a little low line drive kick, but it's going to work in favor of the Panthers. And that'll add to that stat of yards after the yard contact.
That's padding the stats there. That's like running it up in the 4th quarter. Fortunate for the Panthers that wasn't blocked, and that was about a best-case scenario out of a punt that just barely cleared the line of scrimmage. It will move them back inside of their own 30.
I think the ball's going to get spotted about the 28-yard line, like you said. I don't know that it ever got over top of the helmets. My wife bringing me some treats from the stands. I appreciate that greatly. And like I said, it looks like the weather's going to clear out of here for a good second half. That's good news for our cameraman, Bill Weber, up top.
Boy, he did an admirable job manning it through that rain. I think a lesser man would have called it quits. And, of course, we did shut the door. He couldn't have anywhere to go.
First down for the Rockets. They're going to keep it themselves. Great job by Evan Steinley to do outside contain. And then interior line just swallowed the quarterback up. Yeah, that's how you play defense right there.
He set the edge right there, and the whole team was there to rally and make the stop. Gavin Adams was one of the ones in there, along with Derek Nosker.
Little option read there by Schweigen, and decided to pull it back and take it himself, and read very nicely by the Panther defense. That's a loss of 1 on that play. I'll bring up 2nd and 11. Ball on the 25-yard line of the Rockets. Really crediting Coach Whitebread and the defensive coordinating side of the coaching staff this week. All right, quarterback's going to keep it himself. He's out into the open field and up past midfield and still on his feet. And got a big run. Shouldn't have said that. Down to the 45-yard line of the Panthers.
Yeah, no flags on the play. That's a big gain. Yeah, interesting formation by the defense there. They didn't have one person with their hand on the ground. They were all up at the line of scrimmage, and they had basically 7 men in the box. And once he got through the first wave, he had a lot of green grass in front of him.
1st and 10 for the Rockets. Ball spotted right at the Panther 45-yard line. Looks like we got a good number of you watching in on YouTube today. Good game. All right, ball handed right up the middle. Good contact early. Thought we were going to bring him down, but falls forward with Derek Nosker grabbing onto him as a pickup of 4 or 5.
I think that was John Holland, that stopped him, and Derek Nosker did a great job of continuing his pursuit and pulling him down. About a 4-yard gain.
Brings up 2nd down. A couple of receivers, 3 receivers split here to the right. It's been a pretty common offensive scheme for the Rockets. Back in the backfield with Schweigen. Going to run just a straight run to this right side, try to get to this outside edge. And good pursuit by Evan Steinley, going to get him down about 38-yard line. Bring up a key 3rd down.
Tristan Hovey and Connor Keegan were out there to make him turn it up inside. Bring up 3rd and 4. You hold them right here, that'll put them in a tough decision on 4th down. Hate to give them 4th and short.
Tough spot for where the Panthers defense is right now, because it's really a pass or run 3rd and 4 to go situation. 8:25 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Trips in the slot to the left, 1 receiver right, and they're going to hand the ball off. And read pretty well by the Panther defense, and good pursuit by Derek Nosker, showing his athleticism.
He really has. We didn't get to call his name hardly at all last week. That big line of Newman was able to keep him at bay, and he has really turned it up today. And he's around the ball all of the time. If he doesn't make the tackle, he's in the area. Loss on that play, 4th and 5. Rockridge is going to have a decision to make.
Panthers will have to make sure they don't step off sides here, because this penalty would result in a 1st down.
Yeah, this is that place in the field. I say it every week. I don't know why you wouldn't do a hard count every time if you're thinking you were going to punt anyway.
4th and 5 upcoming. And they're going to throw the football. Got a little screen out here to the left side. And he's going to have enough for a first down in the open field. And he's got just a man to beat still on his feet. And they're going to get brought down. He's going to get brought down inside the 10. Big gain for the Rockets.
It really was. A little swing out there to the left side. Had a chance to get him off the field. Weren't able to do it. And we weren't able to make the tackle. So they moved it all the way down inside the 10. Nice scamper out there for the Rocket receiver.
Inside the 10, the ball spotted, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Panthers, or excuse me, for the Rockets. Shotgun formation, going to pitch it out here to the right side, and good read there by Tristan Hovey, good open field tackle.
It really was. He was trying to. He saw a little opening there towards the middle of the field. Derek Nasker a little slow to get up after that. Sometimes when after the rain here, you got a lot of loose footing. It's hard to react to the cutbacks.
Second and goal. Ball's on the 5-yard line. Kind of hard to see where the ball's placed on this football field. A little bit tougher than at Provincetown. Shotgun formation. Quarterback's going to keep it himself, and read well by the Panther defense again.
It really was. That was the read option that we've seen before with them. Great job by the Panthers. Rockridge has shown that they're not afraid to throw the ball in any situation. This is very similar to what we were hoping is to get them off the field there earlier. See a drone out there in the back of the end zone.
Yep, we've got a drone for the EP Panther football program that records the game. Come a long way since the late 1980s, Scott, when you and I played.
Mr. Gray was up there with the camcorder.
3rd down, going to throw the football. Got a little in pattern and able to catch it and in for the score are the Rockets. 5:57 to go.
Yeah, that outside receiver just did his little slant. Just a nice throw there by the quarterback. We weren't able to get any pressure on him. Well, now we got to chase 2 scores. So what was a shootout to start this game had slowed down. We need to get our offense moving back.
And the Rockets will attempt an extra point, up 20-6. Strong leg by the Rockridge kicker, and that's good. 21-6 is your score.
Evans Timely's been really close on all those PATs. I think we're going to see him get across there and get a block one of these times. I can feel it. Hopefully we can set up a good return. Rockets have shown they don't want to get the ball into Gavin Adams' hands on these kickoffs. So it would be interesting to see if we move him around a little bit. They've been willing to just kick it off to the side and even out of bounds on the last one. Front line has to be aware because we got caught on that after their first score. Bounced off of our front line. They were able to recover and take a possession away from us. Gavin Adams and Noah Wetzel are going to be the 2 deep returners. The next line up is Braden Frank. And is that Max Milam on the near side here?
It is. Braden, a name we heard quite a bit in week 1, a little bit in week 2, but been a little quiet here in the last couple of weeks, and look to maybe get him a little bit more involved.
Mr. Orman with a little Vanilla Ice, bringing back the 90s hip-hop.
So with 5:57 to go here in the 3rd quarter, your Panthers trailing a couple of scores. And the Rockets getting set to kick off. And again, another kick on the ground, fielded by Max Milam at the 30 and running east and west. Only going to have a return of a couple on that, and the Panthers will take over about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, you see that all the time when an up guy gets it. He doesn't want to go forward right away, but there's really never anything there to go east and west. So, nonetheless, got the ball across the 30. Not horrible field position. Max did a good job of picking that up because it does come in there kind of bouncing and wet. So
see if the Panther offense can mount a drive here in the third quarter.
To get our down guy over there across the way to flip that to a 1 for first down.
He's working on it. There he is.
That away, Craig.
All right, Connor Keegan split wide right. Connor Johnson here to left. 2 backs in the backfield. And they're going to hand it off to Tristan with the lead block. And swallowed up. Short gain for the Panthers on first down.
Yeah, not a lot there. He tried to bull his way through there, and if he could have, it would have been a pop through. 75 for Rockridge is pretty large there on the defensive tackle position.
Not as large as our 75.
No, Caleb Reamer, he comes in at 6'4", 280. He's looking down towards most people.
Man among boys out there is Caleb in stature. All right, second down. They're going to give him a gain of 3 on that play. 3 receivers split left here. Going to look to throw the football. Got a man across the middle, and he's open. That's Gavin Adams. He's in open space, and he is racing to the end zone, and he's going to get in for the score. And for the third game in a row, Gavin Adams got a big touchdown catch.
Keegan did a great job firing that in there. That was a deep in. That's a tough pass to make. Keegan was able to do it, and Gavin caught that with his hands right across the middle of the field. No safety help from the Rockets in the middle of the field. Able to get a quick answer back for the Panthers. Get this back to hopefully a 1-score game after this conversion.
That was a 65-yard strike from Keegan to Gavin, and just a great football play.
This is a pretty important PAT.
Evan set to do the kicking. Max with the hold and a fire, and Max is going to throw to the end zone, and nobody to throw to there. Kind of a bobbled snap.
Yeah, it kind of rolled back to him, and he wasn't able to get it down. They tried. They had a little bit of a chance, and then once he couldn't get the laces out, he picked it up and tried to make something out of it. Very unfortunate. We're chasing 2 points on these conversions now, and going to makes it still a 2-score game. We're down 9 with 4:54 to go in the third quarter.
Panthers showing the ability to put points on the board, though, and that was just a nice little in route to Gavin, and we've seen that 3 weeks in a row now with that same pattern and touchdown strikes to Gavin.
Yeah, he's back-to-back Scott's Player of the Week. That's a very uncommon. He's got to be one of the leading contenders here in this third game, or week 4 game. Nice throw by Keegan as well. I don't know where those stats went that we had at halftime, but Keegan, I guess he only passed for 13 yards in that first half.
Yeah, he upped that number a little bit there.
Just a little bit. All the receptions have been to Gavin as well.
Well, Empire Strikes Back. Star Wars music going. It's been pretty traditional music here for the Panthers. Justin Pearson set to do the kicking. And there it is. It's an odd-looking kick. Fielded cleanly at the 25. And this time swallowed up. And going to get it out past the 40-yard line.
Certainly a late whistle on that. They let him keep go. That was a better kick. The first 2 kicks that he had went over to the right-hand side, and they were able to get pretty good returns, one of them for a touchdown. That one he kicked more across his body, made it a little tougher, kept it on the ground.
That was almost like a spiral kick.
Right.
Sideways. It was Rockridge Rocket returner did a nice job of catching that thing. It had to have been a little bit tough to handle. All right, 1st and 10 Rockets. Ball at their own 42-yard line. 4:47 to go here in the third. And quarterback's going to keep it himself. Evan does a nice job at the contain. Swallows him up. Going to pick up about 5 on that play. Maybe 6.
Evan Bennett was the first one to meet him there, and Lane Decker as well. Looked like they had a little trouble in the mesh point there on that read option, and the quarterback decided to just keep it himself. Pretty decent gain for him, bring up 2nd and about 4.
Schweigen did a nice job of keeping that ball in the breadbasket of the back going through and trying to get that read as long as he could. Felt it was right to pull it out. Evan did a nice job of staying in that outside contain. and forced it up the field. Still a gain of 6, maybe even 7 on that play. Ball up to the 47-yard line. Same play going to go the other way. Going to hand it to that back, though, this time, and going to get met stacked up just about the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Caleb Reamer's in there along with Nosker coming across from the left side. John Holland gets up off the pile as well. Nice job. We've been seeing a little bit more action out of John Holland, a sophomore on the defensive line.
Thought you had your opportunity there, a sophomore.
No, forgot about that.
3rd and short, right at midfield. Be a big stop here for the Panthers if they're able. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Got it back in the backfield with Schweigen. And they're going to hand it off. Oh, he's met at the line of scrimmage, but able to avoid that tackle. Moves forward for the first down.
Yeah, he got hit behind the line of scrimmage. Thought we'd be able to stop him for a first down. Weren't able to. They do move the chains. 3:15 left in this third quarter. They're across midfield now.
Nosker and Hovey both in on that stop. Inside Panther territory. Rockridge doing this for several years now. They all have armbands, get a play number called into them. They look at their band. All right, option play. They're going to pitch it out here to the right. Good job by Evan. Misses an arm tackle, though. And he's going to play's going to result in a first down.
Yeah, Braden Frank forced that pitch, and then Evan could have been up there for support. Wasn't able to make that tackle, and result is a first down. Good support up there. Was that Gavin Adams that was able to get in there, or maybe it was Lane Decker?
Evan a little high on the tackle there, and able to slip through the hands. Resulted in a big play.
2:30 to go in the third quarter. 21-12. Rockets have the lead.
Trips in the slot to the right. I'm going to throw the football on flag early. Likely going to be a false start against the Rockets. That'll back them up 5. 1st and 15.
Yeah, the receiver on the near side kind of looked like asking if he was not lined up properly. I didn't see anybody move, so maybe it was an alignment. Always nice to move them backwards, even though it only is 5 yards.
Rockridge with big numbers for football players, but they dress their entire program.
Yeah, that's a long weekend for the fresh off kids that have a game on Monday.
First and 15. And quarterback's going to roll out. Evan Steinley with good pressure, and he's going to bring him down for a big sack.
He didn't slip out of Evan's hands that time like he did 2 plays ago. Evan made up for it on that one and then some with a huge sack for a loss. That's going to move him back.
Another 11 yards, but
yeah, I might have to take my shoes off to figure out how long this next play is going to be.
Boy, I thought he had him all the way back to the 45, but generous spot there. You're going to give him the spot at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, I guess that's where his forward momentum stopped, and as Evan was spinning him around, they're not going to give us credit for moving him back any farther.
Well, that's just not fair.
2nd and 27 will be the result.
Yeah, long ways to go for the Rockets. Certainly a high-powered offense. Trips to the left. Going to throw the football right across the middle. And, they're going to get Jordan Crow with a pass interference coming across the middle, and it did look like he hung him up. We'll have to see if that's illegal contact or what exactly, if that'll be an automatic first down or not. That'll be a huge penalty.
Yeah, they're huddled on that. Derek Nosker did an outstanding job. He just pushed his blocker right back towards the quarterback and made him throw that under duress. It was going to go incomplete. They are going to say it's on the Panthers.
That's pass interference, and that'll be 15 yards. And that'll be an automatic first down. No, I don't think in high school it is an automatic first down.
Well, the marker back to the original line of scrimmage.
Tough play for the Panther defense there. Jordy Crow Kind of hard to say what was happening there, but I do think that Jordan did impede the progress of the receiver trying to come across the middle there. So, again, in high school football, it's not an automatic first down. So, 2nd and 11.
It's shows how far they had to go that you can have a 15-yard penalty and still not even back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11 for the Rockets.
51 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 2 receivers split each way. And quarterback's going to keep it himself, and he's got a nice little opening. Good open field tackle there by Tristan Hovey.
Yeah, he was zeroed in on him. That was a nice little trap that the Rockets ran. Quarterback followed him up the middle, 3rd and 5. About clock is running with 33 seconds to go. I think they will have to get this play off.
They're kind of mark him a little shorter than what the side marker gave him credit for. So I think it's going to be a 3rd and 6. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Actually, they stopped the clock.
Yeah, I think it was to bring in a dry ball.
Okay, now they're winding the clock, and here we go.
There was 27 seconds when he wound the clock, so they will have to get one play.
There's virtually no wind here, so there's no advantage one way or the other. And good pressure by Caleb Reamer from the backside, and a big sack for the Panther defense.
Great coverage by the secondary. Lane Decker and Keegan Winkler, Connor Keegan had their guys swallowed up, and no extra time as Caleb Reamer gets the sack to end the third quarter with the Rockets up 21-12.
That's a loss of 3 on that play, and that's a big defensive play. Great to see Caleb Reamer just continuing to work and able to get his big paws on Schweigen, and once he got him, he wasn't going to let him go.
No, and he kind of fell on him with his weight there. That couldn't have felt very good for the quarterback for Rockridge. This is really the best we have looked all season. I mean, the numbers that Rockridge have been putting up. Last year, it was not a fun game down there at Taylor Ridge, and we've just a great showing by the Panthers. And, you know, we won the first 2 games that we needed to start the season. And, you know, we knew the next 2 were going to be really tough. After this, we got Mercer County and Riverdale, Orion, Mendota, and Princeton. We need to find 3 wins of those remaining 5 after this, if this final score holds up, to be playoff eligible.
Yeah, you mentioned that schedule, and just so that you know where they're going to be at, Mercer County next week is away, so that'll be down a little bit of a haul. If you're not able to get down there, we'll certainly be broadcasting that game and bringing you that action live. That Riverdale game is our homecoming. Certainly hope you can get here and enjoy those festivities. If not, again, we'll be bringing that to you. All right, 4th down and long. Set the punt, and there's a much better kick by the punter, and the Panthers are going to let that go. And a good job by the Rockridge defense, and they're going to pin them deep.
Yeah, we really nothing we could do on that. If usually you put your heels on the 10, and if it goes over your head, you let it go, and you hope it goes into the end zone. Their gunner got right down there, and the ball took a nice little stop, like a Scott Minor flop shot that I don't even think I could make a shot like that. It's a quote I've heard before.
Referencing a little issue we had, or incident we had with a Emerald Hill guy. Funny times. All right, Panthers are going to take over 1st and 10. Ball's on their own 6-yard line, so 94 yards to pay dirt. And be a great time for a sustained drive for the Panthers.
Down 2 scores, we're going to need to get 2 of them in this 4th quarter.
Connor split way right to the right here. Connor Johnson left. They're going to hand the ball off to Tristan, and he's going to pick up a couple on that play.
Yeah, Tristan's the workhorse up the middle. Him and Keegan get most of the carries there. We haven't seen really much other action. Connor Keegan got a carry early in the game on that jet sweep. Haven't got the ball to Evan Steinley very much. Early in the season, we really saw a lot of that in that Bureau Valley scrimmage and in the first week. And he's been bottled up pretty well by the other team's defense.
Same lineup. Max out there on the left side. Tristan's going to get the carry again, and again swallowed up. Going to get just past the 10-yard line. Is going to bring up third and mid-range.
Yeah, they tried to stretch that out there. He wasn't able to break free. Connor Keegan was out there, and Connor Johnson leading that block. Keegan Winkler comes over to the sideline to get the play call.
To see maybe they try to run that same play to Gavin Adams and break this thing right now.
Yeah, he's shown he's got the speed to go the distance. When we went down there and handed him his trophy 2 weeks ago, we saw he definitely has the size to go with that. Gavin is listed at 5'11", 200. Pound for pound, one of the stronger players on the team.
10:30 to go here in the game. Panthers trailing by a couple of scores. Needing to get something done here. Up under center. And they're going to hand it off to the first back through, and he's met pretty quickly. That was Max Milam on the carry.
Yeah, that was an interesting formation and handoff as well. Maybe they must have seen something in the film because they took a long time to get that play. So, maybe they thought they had a chance there. They had seen something in film, and Rockridge was ready for it. 4th and 3.
Ball just moved up to the 15-yard line. Panthers will certainly have to kick this one away.
Nobody deep for the Rockets. They are going to make sure we get this kick.
Derek's been a stalwart at just good snaps here this year so far. And a good kick by Keegan, and end over end. And it's going to take a Panther bounce past midfield. So really good kick down to the 47-yard line of the Rockets, where the Panther defense will get back on the field.
It really was. That was the first time that Keegan didn't kind of run off to the right and do that kind of running rugby kick, and he put everything he had into that. That was a great kick, kind of get us out of the shadow of our goalpost. We kind of got put there after a really nice punt by Rockridge, putting us inside of our 5. So defense is going to have to get up to the task here and get a stop so we can get the ball back. Clark asking if Gavin is a senior, and according to the program, he is.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Rockets. Spread offense. Looking to throw the football. Going to try to air it out. He's got a man deep. And they're going to call the flag on Connor Keegan. And that was a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, Connor Keegan had great coverage on the receiver. He was just timing it up. I didn't really look like they were hand fighting at all, but they threw the flag. Very unfortunate. Going to give the Rockets.
That's a 15-yard penalty in high school football, so it won't be the full 35 or 40-yard toss that Schweigen threw down there, but unfortunate break. We've had a couple of pass interference calls that really could have gone either way, and they've gone against the Panthers here.
Yeah, we should have the next one coming to us. That really looked like great coverage by Connor.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Rockets. Ball inside the 40-yard line of the Panthers. And they're going to hand the football off to the first back through. And good job there. Looked like John Holland down the line of scrimmage there with the first initial contact.
Yeah, that's interesting. The crowd was kind of quiet there, and you can hear the coaches from the other side. They have a little bit of, I don't know if it's an audible, but some secondary instructions that the coaches are able to give across. They were yelling goose on that one and on that run.
We'll give them a pickup of 3 on that play. 2nd and 7, ball spotted on the 36-yard line. 8:47, Panthers starting to run out of time, being down 2 scores. 3 receivers split left, 4, and they're going to run the option play. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. Shifty little player, and he's going to be up past the first down marker.
Yeah, Derek Nasker, who we've been calling all night, was able to chase him down from behind. Gavin Adams was in there as well. He kind of got bowled over there at the end. Unfortunately, they did move the chains for the first down. 8:29 when they get the clocks or the change set. Need some sort of turnover here, Scott.
I agree with you. First and 10, ball on the 24. Clock started after the chains were reset.
Yeah, the next thing we need is the play clock on either side. That's really nice to see.
Going to throw the football again. Going to air it out again, and got a guy open in the end zone, and bobbled but caught before he gets to the back end of the end zone, and double covered but still able to come down with it.
Yeah.
Coverage had Connor Keegan and Tristan Hovey both back there.
Yeah, they made a play on it, and the ball was bobbled, as you said, but pretty good concentration, kind of Lynn Swan-esque from the Steelers in the late 70s, able to keep his concentration and bring that down, and really puts his Panthers in a tough spot, down 27-12, 7:54 to go in the game.
That was more of a Stallworth guy.
Gotcha.
All right, there's the snap. Bad one, and right away he picks it up. He's going to get this thing into the end zone for a 2-point conversion, 29-12.
Yeah, that was very similar to the PAT we had on that side where Max tried to run the same play. Wasn't able to get out there because he ended up throwing it. Rockridge's holder was able to scamper out there and get the 2-point conversion. So now we're chasing 17 points, 29-12.
To give you a quick game summary update. Things have kind of taken off from a scoring perspective here late, but had a quick start and then kind of a lull in scoring, and then kind of a burst here again. Rockridge started things off with a 6-yard quarterback run early in the game. Schweigen, PAT was good, 7-0 was the score. The next drive, EP answered, set up by a really nice kickoff return by Gavin Adams. Tristan able to knock it in from a yard out. That 2-point conversion, no good. Panthers were trailing 7-6 at that point. The next kickoff, the Rockridge returner returned the ball 76 yards for a touchdown. The PAT was good, 14-6. That was the score at halftime. Rockridge struck first in the second half with a 4-yard touchdown pass, making it 21-6. Keegan then answered with a strike of his own to Gavin for 65 yards, making it 21-12. And then Rockridge just with this touchdown to extend the lead 29-12. All right, here's the kick. And they're going to kick it. Looks like it's going to get out of bounds again. And good job by Milan to understand that ball was going to get out of bounds and get the flag thrown.
Yeah, he really had nowhere to go. That was, it just barely went out there. That basically just like the kick that they did the last time where Max picked it up. I guess that was probably 2 plays ago because I think they kicked it out of bounds on their last one. So be good field position. It's on the 35 this time. We got it at the 40 the previous time, so that must have been where it went out of bounds. You weren't quite for sure on that. Oh, there's some lightning off to the side there. Hopefully nobody saw that. 7:54. Let's just keep this clock going. We don't want to delay this any further.
Gavin Adams split wide to the right. Looks like maybe Connor wide left. Connor going to get the pitch and try to make the end, and doesn't, and gets tossed out of bounds.
Yeah, Tristan Hovey was trying to make that lead block, and Connor was trying to read which way to go off of that, and Tristan couldn't get in on the defender quick enough, so Connor just tried to break it to the outside. Pretty tough to. We have a tremendous drainage on this field, so it's almost like running downhill when you're running that sweep, and he wasn't able to get around the corner and turn that upfield.
No gain on that play. Was that just a strike of lightning that I saw there?
I did not see it at all.
Okay. Ball on the right hash mark, so got a wide field to the left. Connor Johnson's going to get out there and get that receiver to the left. Tristan in the backfield. Keegan's going to roll out a little bit to the left, throw, and overthrows his intended target. And fortunately for the Panthers, that ball went right through the hands of defensive back. Falls incomplete.
Yeah, Gavin was the receiver that was intended on that one, and that was a tough route for Keegan to try and drop it into because that pass had to go over top of the linebacker and then underneath the safety. It takes a perfect pass to do that. Wasn't able to do that. Fortunately, the safety dropped it. He was the main target on that, Gavin. Johnson was the outside receiver trying to stretch the defense on that. I'd like to see him get a target here at some point.
All right, 3rd down and long for the Panthers. Going to throw the football again, getting flushed out of the pocket. And got a flag down. Got a man open, which is gonna get. I think it's going to be a catch, and that's Evan Steinley over there on the sideline. That'll be enough for a first down.
If the play
this
stands.
is going to come back. That's a hold against the Panthers.
Yeah, and that being a spot foul, that'll move us way back. Great job by Evan to catch that, because otherwise Rockridge could have declined the penalty, which would have brought up 4th down. As it is, this is going to make it a very long 3rd down. Or, excuse me, yeah.
3rd, yep, you're right. But, yes, this is going to back the Panthers way back into their own territory. Clear back to the 25-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 20.
6:47 to go in this game.
All right, man in motion is Connor. Going to throw the football. Got pressure from the backside. Running a little wheel route to Connor and overthrows him.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact. The EP faithful over here kind of went a little pass interference on that. Ball probably overthrown enough that they weren't going to call that. You can just call illegal contact if you want, but he chose not to. Going to bring up 4th and 20. Tell you what, Connor had to run a long way on that. He started that play from the far side, came in motion on that wheel route.
Yeah, certainly the Panthers can't do anything but punt this football away, even at the 6:40 mark here in the 4th quarter, down 2 scores. But 4th and 20 is too much to overcome. And there's the kick. And a little low line drive. And again, end of that stat. Ball's going to fall all the way back to the 35-yard line of the Rockets.
Yeah, Keegan just going for the career stats now. He already had the single season yards after the contact on the punt. And, you know, he's shown the ability when he has to kick it high. But no return men have been back for Rockridge on the last 3 punts. So all he pretty much has to do is get some leverage into it and let it bound down the field, and he's going to get a good kick off.
The first few weeks you were making note about how Derek Nosker was the first man down, even though he was snapping the football. And we got a new sheriff in town now. Lane Decker has been that first guy down every single time, making his presence felt. All right, 1st and 10 for the Rockets. And likely going to do a little ground and pound here. We're going to pitch the ball out with a little bit of sweep here. Going to try to get around this outside edge. And nice job of stacking them up, but a pickup of about 5 on that play.
Yeah.
Connor Johnson in on that stop.
Gavin Adams was out there to set the edge. Like you say, Connor Johnson was in on that stop. Jordan Crow came over there to help. Derek Nosker was in on that play as well, kind of shaking off a stinger after that play.
Derek's having a heck of a game tonight.
He really is. Really, the whole team is. I mean, after the tough game last week where it wasn't competitive at all in the second half, or really the first quarter, against this undefeated and state-ranked team of Rockridge, we really have a really nice showing. Just need to finish this game strong. Keep it 29-12 would be nice.
Yeah, Scott mentioned state ranked. Number 3 in the state right now are the Rockridge Rockets. And they're going to hand the ball off. Oh, good pursuit by Tristan Hovey. And they're going to tackle him for a loss.
He just got shot there out of the cannon on the right-hand side. Got his arms wrapped around him and was able to pull him down. Great job by the Panthers there. 3rd and 5:17 as the clock continues to run.
Tristan also having a really nice game today defensively, and has had a few nice carries as well today.
Yeah, he had a nice – well, he had the touchdown in the first half.
3rd and a long 5 for the Rockets. And a flag on the play, and likely that'll be a false start against the Rockets again. That'll back him up another 5.
Number 4, he always has a guilty look on his face when he's down there. What, me? And I think the official was like, yeah, it's you again.
You could see his face with his helmet on
here?
Wow,
Yeah, I got these laser improved eyes.
He did say that. All right, 3rd and a long 10.
Got a little Beastie Boys.
Yeah. All right. Reminder, at the end of this game, we'll be picking the Scots MVP of the week. All right, going to throw the football, going to roll out right. He's going to throw right, got a man open, and the ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, a little pass a little bit behind him. He didn't get two hands on it, but he was kind of falling to his back as he was trying to gather that. It falls incomplete. 4th and 10.
Lane Decker in coverage protection there.
Is Lane varsity only, or is he playing on Mondays as well?
Lane is playing on Mondays. And, you know, I mentioned that the sophomore team is 3-0. The mainstay linemen that are up, so that would be Brecken, Sandrock. I think John Holland is also an underclassman. Those guys that are up full-time are not playing on
Monday.
on
How about
Mondays.
Mason Minson?
Mason, I don't believe, is playing either. So another false start by the Rockets will back them up another 5. And so being 3-0 and having those big fellas up front not being there for them on the offensive line is that's impressive.
Yeah, it's kudos to the first off. They've really played well. Look forward to watching them play soon, or to see those players next year when they're on the varsity.
All right, there's the snap. And, Caleb Rimmer trying to get at that punt and wasn't able to. And that kick's going to take a Rockridge bounce. Nobody's going to get to it. Lane Decker was deking him a little bit.
Yeah, he got a little close there, and a little push from the Rockridge guy from behind. You got to be careful, because if it bounces off of you, it's a live ball, and Rockridge will be able to recover it.
It's like the Panthers will take it over inside their own 40-yard line, down maybe around the 37. And need a very quick strike here. And then, well, we need a little bit of a miracle.
Yeah. Down 17, 3 scores is what would be needed.
A little en route to Gavin. I'd like to see maybe a little fly route to Connor Keegan. Haven't really gotten him involved in the passing game a whole lot. All right, Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. A couple of receivers right. Keegan going to roll out right, going to throw right, got a man open, which is Evan, and gets hit at about the 40-yard line. Short game.
Yeah, 2 guys on that route in the vicinity, Steinley and Johnson. Nice pass by Keegan, hitting Steinley on that out. About a 3-yard gain. Call it 2nd and 7, 4 minutes to go. Be under 4 minutes to go when we get this ball snapped. Rockridge defender over here must have turned his ankle a bit. He's kind of limping around. Be nice to give him a target.
Connor and Gavin switching sides, most likely because they're going to target one of those two. If I was guessing, it's going to be number 7. Yes, they are. They're going to try to hit him on a little in route. Nope, and they're going to throw it back. And Gavin on a 50-50 ball. Yeah, ball's going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, he kind of did a double move there, and he kind of outran as far as Keegan could throw. He kind of needed to get that off a little bit quicker. Wasn't able to do that. They certainly did isolate Gavin on the wide side of the field. Just needed the play was there. He just needed to get going on that pass a little bit quicker.
Yep. 3rd and 7, 3:41 to go. Panthers trailing 29-12. Ball spotted on their own 40-yard line. 3 receivers to the left. Keegan going to throw the football again. Good protection all night long, really, for Keegan. And get flushed out. Throws it. And we're going to get a late hit penalty. And Keegan is down.
Yeah, that was
a late hit.
Yeah, both flags were thrown. That was about 5 feet out of off the field of play. Helmet right underneath the chin strap of Keegan. He is able to get up. Sometimes you get hit hard enough like that, it kind of just really shakes you up, and the adrenaline gets you up, and then you got to try and do a little inventory and see how you're feeling.
Yeah. Are all the parts working as they should? And I would be hard-pressed to think that this is going to do anything but be handed off to a back to give Keegan a little bit of a minute to regroup.
Yeah, nice to see him pop up after that because that was a very hard hit. It looks like he didn't need a break or anything and shaking things off. Ready to go.
Going to put Connor Johnson out there on an island by himself to the left. And they are going to, they're going to do a little flea flicker. Going to try to throw it long, and it kind of goes up for Duck. And they're going to get a penalty. I think they're going to call the penalty on Gavin Adams.
Yeah, you saw that. He got his left arm in on the receiver. The pass was a little bit underthrown there by Keegan.
And they're actually going to call it an interception.
That I didn't see. But, yeah, it would have been a pass interference on the offense. So that will be a turnover on the interception. 3:20 to go in the game.
That ball was just kind of floated up there on Keegan. Good play call if you think your quarterback was feeling good, and defense is thinking, he's probably going to have to take a play off, right? And,
yeah.
But yeah, Keegan just not able to get the what he needed underneath of that throw.
All right. Well, I would assume with 3:20 to go and up 17, Rockridge is just going to want to keep it on the ground and keep the clock moving. We'll see what they have in mind right here coming out.
Fans a little restless with the some of the officiating results tonight.
Yeah, you gotta love the enthusiasm, rooting their boys on all the way.
All right, quarterback's going to keep this himself. Going to go off right tackle, follow up a couple of lead blocks, still on his feet, and now the Panthers just looking to punish him a little bit.
Yeah, number 6 Schwagen on that carry. 8 yards is what he ended up getting.
Up to the 20-yard line, be second short for the Rockets.
Be about 2.5 to go in the game when they get this ball snapped. I'll tell you what, fortunate to keep this game going for the Lightning in the background. Week 1, it was just stacking delays after delays, and we just had the one tonight.
All right, they're going to hand the ball off again, and breaks into the open field, and still on his feet. Finally knocked down. Oh, ball comes out, but falls on the ground and able to get recovered by a Rockridge Rocket.
Yeah, Connor Johnson did a great job there getting that receiver. It looked like he did a little Peanut Tillman ball punch and knocked it out as he was knocking him to the ground. We weren't able to continue our pursuit and get in on that recovery.
First down run for the Rockets, 2:18. Clock running. Ball still inside Rocket territory. Like to see some class by the Rockets here and just run this clock out. 2 backs in the backfield. And they're going to hand it off. Good pursuit there by Jordan Crow. And Caleb Reamer also trying to get in on that.
Yep, great job by Jordan. Like you said, nice to see him get in there. Our tackling has been pretty sound. We had just the one little arm tackle that they got through us. Besides that, once we get our hands on them, we've really been able to get them down at the point of contact.
Yeah, just like you mentioned earlier, a much better played football game tonight. Score is going to, obviously not go in our favor tonight, but a much better football game than we played last week against the Newman Comets.
Or even last year against Newman and Rockridge. Or I don't remember the Newman game last year, but the Rockridge game, it was definitely not this closely contested.
We haven't had any offense in the second half. There's defense.
All right, they're going to hand the ball off. And he's going to try to get around the left end here. Good job by number 7, Gavin Adams, to push him out of bounds.
Unfortunately, it will stop the clock. Keeps the play the comeback chance alive. 3rd and 9 will be 1:03 to go in the game.
Yeah. After this play, we'll give you the Scott's MVP of the week. And I'll just throw this out there right now. We're not going to have a three-peat. Gavin had a great game tonight.
He was certainly in the running.
He was in the running, but he's not going to have a three-peat. Going to hand the ball off. Right up the middle he runs. And going to get up to midfield. Going to get brought down by A couple of tacklers, Gavin Adams in on that stop.
Lane Decker.
Braden Frank also. That'll move the chains.
Be a first down. Yeah, we mulled it over, and we're going to give our Scott's Player of the Week to Derek Nosker. Really, after not calling his name last week, he was all over the field. He had 9 tackles maybe in just this second half, and was quite a force out there. Had a couple nice blocks as well. As a great long snapper, but on the defense is where we really see Derek shine, and we're going to expect big things out of him and Caleb and the remainder of the season on the defensive line as we lead, looking for our 5 wins that we need to get us playoff eligible.
Panthers are going to fall to 2-2 on the season as the final seconds tick off this clock. 29-12 is going to be your final score. Panthers played a solid football game tonight against a formidable foe. State-ranked, the Rockridge Rockets, going to go home victorious tonight. They're going to move to a record of 4-0 on their season. Next week, we're going to travel to Mercer County, and we're going to take them on. They're getting pounded tonight, I think, by Riverdale.
Yeah.
And so we'd like nothing more than to get our 3rd win of the season. Like Scott said, we got to get 3 more wins in the next 5 weeks to make ourselves playoff eligible. Certainly got some wins on that. Certainly have some games left on that schedule where we can get to those wins. And what we showed tonight, the heart, the grit, and just the ability to make plays, I certainly think that this team is not a team that's given up.
That's for sure. I mean, we moved the ball very well against a 4-0 team, the Rockridge. So really looking forward to the next couple weeks to see what's in store for the Panthers.
I forgot to mention in the outset, we did have a couple of players that were out this week. Keegan Cole out for a second week in a row with concussion protocol. Graydon Church also out this week with a concussion. I certainly hope that those guys can get back next week and get to healthy and get back on the football field. And again, I don't think anybody came out this week with any kind of injuries. So hopefully we can come back full strength next week. Any parting comments?
It was a really well-played game. You know, we've beat the teams that we can the last 2 years, and this really, to me, was the best showing against a really tough opponent. So I think this is a building block for the remainder of the season and give us a push to get playoff eligible, and just now we need to start stacking some wins.
Agreed. With that, we're going to sign off. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. We'll be in Mercer County next week, and we'll bring you that live broadcast. If you get a chance, come on out, enjoy some football tomorrow with the JFL being in Provincetown at 10 o'clock, and again at 11:30 for the 7th and 8th grade. Monday night, the Panther sophomore team will be traveling down to Rockridge, and they make a road trip out of that, and support your Panthers. Until we meet again, take care. God bless.